It was Leeds in one of their crash-bang-wallop moods in the first half, going in front when Steve Hodge found a way through in a crowded penalty area. Mel Sterling with number 2, slightly deflected by the looks of it. Mel was 30 this week, by the way. The third came as a result of a Stuart Pearce-like run by Tony Dorigo, interrupted in full flight by Ian Bryson. Sterling, who was later to go off, proved a more than capable deputy for Gordon with a very smart penalty. And just to make the remainder of the match a formality, Steve Hodge got his second for a 4-0 lead. Formality, eh? You don't write off Dave Bassett teams. Jamie Hoyland's header proved to be more than a consolation. It was more of an inspiration. Although Carl Schutt's back pass was totally responsible for number 2, Tony Agana making it look a lot easier than it actually was. And to set up a grandstand finish, Carl Bradshaw got a third. But Leeds hung on. Many pleasing aspects in defeat for Sheffield. Chelsea becoming predictably unpredictable. They're tenacious when behind, suspiciously fragile when in front. Beautiful footwork there by Kerry Dixon to set up Graham Lasso for the first. Poor defending by Arsenal standards let them in for a second. This time Lasso was the provider, Kevin Wilson the scorer, and Chelsea were well and truly in command. The game turned when Vinnie Jones was adjudged to have handled the ball, although he and all the Chelsea defenders close by strenuous 7-week layoff and providing us with goal of the day contender B. Note the little glance there, and then the big finish. Here he is again poaching at the far post to turn in Roland Nielsen's cross. Palace thought he was offside. The pictures don't prove anything one way or the other. For the fourth, and from Nigel Worthington's cross, Hurst was in there again. Nigel Martin looking slightly bemused at this stage, touching Hurst pullback straight into Carlton Palmer's path. Coventry moved up to 5th by winning at Upton Park. The exciting Zimbabwean international Peter Unlove setting up Kevin Gallagher for the only goal of the game. Count the crowd is becoming the pre-match routine at Selhurst Park on non-Palace days. Just over 3,500 for Wimbledon against Norwich. Scott Fitzgerald putting the Dons 1-up. Wimbledon, according to their owner Sam Hammam, are currently losing up to £5,000 a day. Norwich, who've been going well, equalised through Darren Beckford, his first goal for the club. Now, wherever they play, at home or away, Wimbledon remain a lovable handful and a great inspiration for less glamorous clubs. Everyone closing in on Andy Clark there and leaving John Fashanu all alone. For the third goal, Norwich didn't make the same mistake. Clark's marker did his best, but Clark opted to go solo. 3-1. Rangers still haven't won at home. The other statistic of major significance, Des Walker's back in business. As for the goals, the impish Gary Crosby laid on the first for Teddy Sheringham, another £2 million man doing what he was bought for. It was Sheringham at the double, Carl Tyler's flick on, and a classy finish to a classic near-post corner routine. Spurs felt that Everton's opener was offside, but having seen it a few times, I can tell you it was an excellent piece of judgment by the linesman to keep his flag down. That was the first of Tony Cottee's hat-trick. This wasn't one of Spurs' better days. Beardsley pulled them all over the place at the back. Their solitary goal coming from Gary Lineker, goal of the day contender, his 12th and possibly bravest of the season. Stewart's somewhat clumsy challenge on Watson led to the penalty. Cottee was straight in there to grab the ball and the glory, a sure sign of confidence. That's what you call unstoppable. Cottee's Everton career has been something of a stop-start affair, but when he's buzzing, he really does look the part. Varzika seeing what's on out of the corner of his eye, and once again a very positive response from Cottee. After a scrappy goal to concede from Luton's point of view, Alec Chamberlain failing to prevent Dalian Atkinson's cross from reaching Kevin Richardson in the 3rd minute, Villa stays their own goal of the day competition. Following Richardson's 4th of the season, 3 crackers. A flowing move with a thunderous finish by Cyril Regis. That really was vintage Cyril. It was Dalian Atkinson's first game at Villa Park, and he showed the fans what they'd been missing. Powerhouse stuff to set up a spectacular header by Dwight Yorke. Philip Gray missed a penalty for Luton and nearly snapped the bar in the process. Another inch and it would have been just like Tony Cottee's. Finally, goal of the day, contender D. Paul Mortimer, and an exquisite finish at the end of a meandering sort of run. To score, the ball could only go in one place, and that was inch perfect. Southampton have been finding the First Division tough going this season, but they battled well for appointed Oldham. Alan Shearer, £3 million, couldn't persuade Southampton to sell, with his 7th of the season, due mainly to perseverance and a sloppy bit of defending. Oldham pressing forward late in the second half. Typical move this, utilising Sharp's awesome reputation. He was never going to flinch. Nick Henry hammering in the rebound.